Good morning. This is the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. My name's Dave Burney. Brent Apperson in Omaha to cover track today. I think I have Mark hooked up from Loop City at the marina. Let's find out. Good morning, Mark.
To make a call.
I guess I don't. Let me try that again. Good morning, Mark. Are you there? Lost him somewhere along the line, so we've got a little music going here for you from Neil Young, and I'll get hooked back up with Mark, and we'll get Mark on the air. Stay tuned.
Good to see you. Good to see you again. Good to see your face again. Good to see you. I'm the suitcase in your hallway. I'm the footsteps on your floor. When I'm looking down on you, I feel like I know what my life is for. Good to see you. Good to see you again. Good to see your face again. Good to see you. I've been down on the endless highway. I passed on the solid line. Now at last I'm home to you. I feel like making up for lost time. Good to see you. Good to see you.
The sounds of Neil Young and Good to See You. Well, I think we're going to be able to talk with Mark now at Trade Winds Marina. We got hung up, had Mark on hold for about 4 minutes, and sometime during that period, we lost him. But we're back. It's kind of like casting back out in that same fishing spot, Mark, and seeing if we can catch you. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Thank you for your patience this morning.
Blame it on the Russians.
There you go. I'm with you on that. Ruskies. Oh man, I talked with you just a little bit off the air about how wonderfully busy you've been, but that's going to make you happy with all the renovations that you did over the off season.
Yeah, it's been nice. Not sure what kind of beast we created, but it's we're almost 99% complete with renovations. I'm hoping by Memorial Day we will be complete with everything. So, but today's our first day of being open 7 days a week. We're open right now. We're open from 7 to 8, with our grill hours being 11 to 8. Or, 11 to 7. And then we're going to start our first wing night tomorrow night. So, you're in the hankering for some really good chicken wings. Be running our wing special tomorrow night, along with the bucket beer specials. So
that sounds really good. And let's talk a little bit about the expansion allows you to have more guests in too. So if people drive from Grand Island or from Sargent or from Broken Bow or wherever they come from, they can feel pretty confident they're going to have a place to sit to enjoy the grill and the wings and much more. So come on in, right?
Absolutely. You know, the beer garden expansion has been I don't really know how to explain it.
Well, as we said, it's a good thing, but I know you have to have probably a little bit more food, a little bit more help, a little bit more time. Yeah.
You know, and the help's been the killer right now. You know, because everybody's still in. You know, a lot of our kids that work for us are still in school, and you know, and last weekend was graduation weekend. Well, it was virtually me and my wife and a cook and our assistant manager all weekend. So, but we did it. We didn't have anybody upset, waiting too long or nothing. So,
well, there's worse things than sitting beside a lake in a beer garden. So hopefully,
well, and maybe that takes some of the pressure off of us. But,
yeah.
You know,
but I mean, if you're able to keep your customers happy, I know that's your number one goal. For them to come in and have a good time and sit around and visit a little bit and have good food served, maybe a cold one or two. So I'm glad it's going so well because I know you've invested some time and money into the expansion. And, of course, with that comes, you know, more people and of course, a little more help needed. And this time of year it's a little tough for you.
Yep. We got the Nebraska Walleye Association showing up this weekend and having their tournament here on Sunday, their first tournament of the year. So that'll be an interesting Sunday. Hopefully we can have some people show up and see some big fish that get weighed in, and the weigh-ins for the tournaments are kind of neat. So
yeah, and things have changed quite a bit from many years ago when a lot of fish were kept. A lot of probably fish were taken home even in tournaments. But nowadays, most of the time, I think, unless they're probably injured, they go back in the lake.
Yep. You know, and you know, we had a tournament here a couple weeks ago, and it was one of them. You take a picture with your phone and of it on the board and how long it is, and you take a video. You releasing it all right there in the boat, and then it all went back to this app, and it calculated how many inches of fish and how many pounds of fish and who won and first and second for the guys. I mean, it was really neat, and I mean, I encourage anyone else that's running tournaments to take a look at that.
Yeah, that sounds like a great tool. Speed things up and document everything and have pictures and video. That's pretty fantastic. Speaking of walleye and all of that, how's the fishing going right now?
It's been good. The crappie has been real good. Walleye's getting better. It's these damn thunderstorms. Just about the time the walleye starts turning on, we get a storm roll through and it shuts them down.
Yeah. Well, and it's just a tad early, I suspect, but they'll really get rolling. A good time to have a tournament, and everybody enjoying the crappie fishing. And I know, as I remember last year, you had some smaller ones coming out of the lake, and I've heard some stories about some pretty nice ones coming out this year.
Yep. Well, and I mean, I think we're missing an age class on our crappie, but I think last year it's like everything you catch was that 8.5, and if you didn't catch anything between that 13, 14.
Right.
So we're missing that a year age class, and now we're seeing a lot of 8.5, 9.5 inch fish, but we're also seeing a lot of 10.5 to 12 inch fish, and we're seeing 13 and 14 inches. So
Yeah, that's exciting to see a big old slab come out and into the boat.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot of fun for everybody, and that's, I guess, the really nice thing about crappie is, and you've told us that's your favorite species to fish for, because any age can enjoy that.
Yep. And it's pretty relaxing fishing. There's so many different ways to fish them. Yeah. I mean, you can get out there and really grind on it, or you can throw a slip bobber out and sit back with a toddy.
There you go. That sounds like a good time. I'm glad the fishing's good. I'm glad it's going really well for you guys. Walleye tournament this weekend and the good food that you're serving. How's the bait and all that holding up for the fishermen? You got some lures, tackle, and that sort of thing to sell as well?
We got some tackle. I just got a shipment in that's sitting on a pallet that I need to get put up on the wall and that. I got a delivery of bait coming in this afternoon, probably be in here right after 1.
Okay.
We actually ran out of bait. I had bait come in on Friday, and I was out of bait on Sunday.
Wow.
Sunday evening.
Well, that tells you something right there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so now 7 days a week at Tradewinds Marina. Good food, good fun, good people. We probably should tell people who are listening who haven't been to Tradewinds before where they can find you.
Oh, we're just east of the dam in Loop City at Sherman Reservoir, about 6 miles outside Loop City. Our address is 1187 Marina Road,
all right,
Loop City, Nebraska. And if you get lost out in the hills, just give us a call at 308-745-1187, and we'll try and get you where you need to go.
All right. Hospitality at its best. Speaking of hospitality, I know you do have some cabins to rent and some camping spaces going into the second half of May. I imagine they're going to be a little harder to get.
Yeah, I believe Memorial Day we're filled up.
Okay.
And then, after that, we usually have something open. And during the weekdays, we've always got something open as well.
All right, Mark. Always a pleasure. Thanks for being patient with us this morning, and good fishing and good fun at Tradewinds Marina. We'll talk to you next time.
All righty. You guys have a good day.
You too. Thanks a lot. 7:43 is your time. Jack Simpson is here as well. How you doing, Jack?
Good. How about you?
Good. Now that we got Mark on the air and got his message up and on the radio and on the live stream. Great place, Tradewinds Marina. They've got bait, they've got tackle, they've got food, they've got beer, they've got good people right along the dam there. So, folks, check that out. Jack, I think there's some school lunch menus up at the top, right up there.
Got them?
Yep. If you want to help us there, I think we're marked off. Today is the 15th, Wednesday. Yep. And I'll start with the Prairie Pioneer Center. Today they're having open-faced hot beef sandwiches, mashed potatoes and gravy, California blend veggies, and fruit. Call them at 872-6121. Let them know you're coming. You can also use that same number to set up home delivery.
In Broken Bow Middle and High School, they got lunch today is beef taco in a bag, crispy chicken sandwich, fresh baked combo sub, grilled chicken deli wrap, or build your own hot dog station.
All right. At Sargent, looks like hot dog and hamburgers, chips, fruit cup, cookie, and milk. Tomorrow it's breakfast only. They'll be letting classes out at 11:30 tomorrow at the Sargent schools.
For Cozad High School, it's a choice of chicken patty with roast turkey with a hot roll, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with Cobb salad with a hot roll.
And at Loop City today, nachos or meatball subs.
For dining today, it is runza, tri-taters, and green beans.
And at Litchfield, there'll be, it's Mexican rice bowls today at Litchfield.
And Ansley is, for breakfast, it's scrambled eggs and sausage, and for lunch, it's hot dogs.
All right. Thetford, chicken waffles, tater tots, California blend, fruit veggie blend, and milk. That's the last menu they've provided, so I assume school is ending very soon there. Gothenburg Public Schools today, beef taco in a bag, crispy chicken sandwiches, fresh baked turkey and cheese subs, made fresh buffalo ranch pizza, Uncrustable cheese and cracker platter. And I think I have one more. Yes, I do. Anselmo Myrna. And this is the last lunch menu for this year, this spring. Beef taco in a bag, crispy chicken sandwich, Uncrustable cheese and cracker platter at Anselmo Myrna. Just a few school lunch menus to read the next few days, so we're caught up there. Trish is here from Designs of Distinction.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
How are you?
Good.
Hey, Jack.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Yes.
Nice to meet you too.
Jack, just his third day today, so
Cool.
we're
Woohoo.
learning the ropes here, and Jack went to school for broadcasting and is going to, we're going to call him our universal. We're going to teach him everything.
Very good. So he's going to kind of rotate around and
Yes,
learn it all.
we're going to get him to fill in, do air shifts, run video camera,
Wow.
help with news. Yeah, he's got a full plate of fun ahead of him. So.
Yes, he does. Sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I haven't asked you about this, but would you like to read the trivia question?
I sure would.
All right.
So,
Today is Wednesday, so it's Big Pig Day at Runza. So if we have a winner, they're going to win a certificate at Runza today.
okay, well, this says Mystery Month. So is this...
Mystery Month, that's right.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so yesterday, Sandy won. The question was, this private eye television series was aired from 1958 to 1961 and is probably the best remembered for its theme music. It ended up being Peter Gunn.
Right.
So today is, what was the popular TV series in the 60s which featured federal U.S. law enforcement agents fighting organized crime during the Prohibition era? Your answers are A, The Fugitive, B, The Untouchables, C, The Saints, or D, Mission Impossible.
Give us a call at 872-2801. Win yourself a prize.
Good morning, Captain.
Good morning, Captain.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
Nicole is having her favorite Runza salad.
The something ranch salad.
It's the chicken bacon ranch salad.
But you can put whatever else you want around it. I'm here for the ranch.
I'm with you. Runza's homemade ranch is perfect. It's so good. A classic.
It's literally the only reason I like salad.
Great point. Come get a salad with your ranch. Try Runza's chicken bacon ranch salad today, because Runza makes it all better.
Remember, today is Pigs in a Blanket Day.
All right, we did not get a call, Jack, so let's find out what the answer is this morning. He's getting tangled up there. There we go.
Well, the answer was The Untouchables.
Yep.
The Untouchables. That's right. That's right.
Knew that one. Scary.
Yeah, well,
I'm that old.
you ever notice that we can answer questions in certain time
Yeah.
periods?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. That's our, yeah. Yeah, it's funny. We were just talking. A lady came into Bow Family yesterday and was saying that she could remember. We were talking about phone numbers, and it's like, unless you have your phone with you, you can't give them anyone else's phone number because you can't remember. You don't think about it because it's just a button and it dials them. And I said, I can remember my first phone number growing up. I just state 92499. It wasn't even it was 789, but it was still state 92499.
Yeah. And it was that way, too, because you didn't have to dial the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
No, you didn't have area codes. Oh, my goodness. Zip codes. I remember when zip codes came in.
That was a revelation.
That was a big deal. I was like, oh, my goodness. I had to go through my mother's address book and put zip codes in.
Yeah.
So exciting.
Yeah, a good point. And it's also a little more difficult to remember your own number these days.
Yeah.
Because it isn't like, you said when you were a child, your parents said, learn this number.
Right. You had to know that, and you had to know your dad's number at work.
Right. Right.
Mom didn't have a phone other than home.
So you
but
had two numbers
you had
needed
to remember, and you had to know where you lived.
Yeah, your address.
I said, yep, we needed all that stuff. And so now it's a button just to get a hold of anybody.
Yeah, just push one button. It was also okay more than likely to catch a ride with the neighbor somewhere.
Oh, yeah,
And,
that was fine.
These days, that's a little iffy. A lot of people are not comfortable with that. So,
I know.
things have changed.
It's odd just to see a child walking on the street by themselves.
It's worrisome
It is
now.
bizarre to see that now. It's
Yeah.
like, well, what is that?
And what did we do all summer? We wandered
we were
all over
on
town.
the street,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, it's
Or
different.
on our bikes, and you had to be home by 7 because that's when Dad got home to have supper.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't even, it was like you left in the morning and nobody ever worried about where you were.
No.
You were somewhere.
Be home by the 6 o'clock whistle or 10 o'clock whistle when you're a little older. Oh, I didn't hear the whistle, Mom. I don't have a watch. I couldn't get to a phone. Yeah, it was a little different.
We had good excuses.
We did. It was
We did.
perfect.
That was perfect.
Yeah. Speaking of phone numbers, let's start with your number.
Sure. It's 308-870-3677. Anytime.
Put that in your,
Text. Yeah,
Put that in your phone, folks.
exactly.
And you can text or call and set up a time for them to come in and have you look at the windows and see what you can do for them, right?
Yep, I can come in and no charge and just give you a quote, give you ideas, you know. And a lot of times it's somebody has something very specific that they want. And then it's like, well, what else can you do? Or what else is out there? And then I bring the whole store to your door thing.
You do.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you a question along those lines. How much work do you end up getting just by, say, walking in and doing one window?
Oh, it just happened in south of Kearney. I was put up 4 motorized shades, and in the same room were 2 more windows, which she's like, no, don't worry about those. They're fine. You know, don't measure them. And when I was putting up the new ones, I thought I should measure those 2 other ones. And then I thought, nope, she was pretty sure that it was just these 4 windows, so I didn't mess with them. 3 days later, and I thought, oh my goodness, what's wrong with the shades? That was my first thing when I saw her name pop up on my phone. And she's like, can you come back down? I said, sure. Why? What's wrong? And she goes, oh, nothing, but I think we want those other 2 windows done. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Well, they look over and they look so nice,
Yes.
and they say, oh, why not do the rest of them?
And these, the 4 I put in were big. They're like 90 inches long.
Wow.
And the slider itself was huge. You know, it had 2 side windows and then the slider, so they were big. And the neat part was on the one channel, it's a 5-channel remote. So each shade, it operates independently. And then that 5th channel raises and lowers all of them. And
Good
they
gosh.
all go up in, perfect, just perfect line across all the way up and all the way down. And, so that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
And then last week I went to Gretna for a motorization class and learned even more amazing things. So, yeah. So.
And folks, if you're just tuning in, Trish is here from Designs of Distinction. And you also just got back from a trip to Texas to learn more about things. So you're always getting a little more education and information.
You have to keep up with it. It's the industry, even though you think of shades and blinds and people think verticals and wood blinds and cellular shades, but there's so many options out there now. And I do have a company. It's one of the 2 that I get my shades and blinds from. They've introduced their own motorization. So what that means is they've got a class of motorization that isn't the standard is Somfy, which is one of the biggest motorized shade companies out, for the motors, and they've branded their own. They're like I'm going to go with like 40 to 50% less than the Somfy motors, but they're very simple, and it's called Simple Motion for a reason. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but it's a very simple up and down. There it is. Where the Somfy motors, you can program a stop point. You can have them go up to certain points and all this. This one is really simple, but it's a great entry level on a motorization without getting super, expensive to do that. Even though motorization is coming down, it just seems like they're making it more affordable because it's kind of the way the industry will eventually, I think, go. If you can't raise it cordlessly, with your, standing on the floor and raising it up, the next step is motorized just to get rid of all the cords. So. And
at one time, the motorization was for tall church windows or business windows.
Or second-story windows that you really didn't have access to. But, again, I go back to my same mantra. It's like if you're building, run those low-voltage wires to the top of your windows. It's inexpensive at the time of building, and it will save you a whole lot of worry because otherwise you have to figure out how to get a charger cord to them. Right. Technically they'll outlive us as far as the lithium-ion batteries go, but you still have to get a cord to them to charge them. So if that cord is all the way at that top of that window. And one thing I did learn on this last class was, just take the extension charger cord, bring it down the side of the window and adhere it staples or, clips. Then it brings it to the bottom of the window and it's a little bit easier to get to. You might only need a ladder, a shorter ladder to get there. So, just different things.
If, you've got to remind folks right now, but I would think contractors themselves, as time goes along, would just make that part of what they do. In
Las Vegas, it was already starting when we moved away from there, a lot of the newer homes, but they were running super heavy-duty lines. They were running like regular electrical cords to the top of the windows, and this low-voltage wire is just like wire. It's thin.
Very small.
And it just goes down to a one supply box. So it's I'm learning a lot. I'm learning electrical terms I didn't even know I needed to learn.
In the curtain business.
And why should I need that? But but we still have all of the manual products. I'm not pushing motorization, but when you need it, you need it. And I feel the older we get, because our demographics are changing.
They are.
And, it's going to be a lot easier to, push a simple button to do things when you're, in your 90s and still living at home, because that's where I'm going to be.
That's where we want to stay. And those are small things that add up.
Yes.
If you have a walk-in bathtub.
Yep.
For safety, and you have, so you don't have to get up on a chair or a ladder to, it all kind of adds up.
It does, and it's just accessibility, and windows are getting bigger. That was the one thing we always found in Vegas, which was just funny because it's hot and glass conducts heat. And it's like, let's put that 90 by 82-inch window in the back of your house so you can look out at the block wall on the back of the house. It was just bizarre. I couldn't understand it, but it was business. It was good.
Well, there's some bizarre things that go on in Vegas. I guess the windows shouldn't be any different, right?
They shouldn't. And, it's the same way here. You want to see those beautiful sand hills and see the cows and all that fun stuff. So.
Well, folks, Trish will come in. She'll measure. She'll take a look. I have a funny feeling if we had more time, we could talk about how many times plans change after you kind of walk in and work with the customers as far as colors and that sort of thing go, or maybe what application you're going to use. But all that knowledge you carry with you can be shared.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's what customers like about you, is that you offer options, but it's their call, right?
Right. It is, absolutely. And I always say this, my customers are in their home 100% of the time. I'm not. So I can see things maybe differently, but then again, you have to live in it. This is your home, and, I can give you ideas, but as you know, I'm not real pushy. I'll go out and do the quote, and then I'm...
It's kind of back in there on their accord, isn't it? But
I'm not pushy. I don't get on the phone saying, hey, did you make a decision? And it's like, no, you knew how to get a hold of me. And
again, the phone is the way to do
yes,
to get
absolutely.
things started, right?
That's the best way. It's 308-870-3677.
Okay. Running a little over time, but I wanted to ask you about, are you going to golf in the Rotary tournament in June?
It's the day I work, and that is the Friday after I have a vein surgery beginning of the week. So I'll probably won't be there for that one, but yes, please register for that. Are you all going to do it?
Oh, we're talking about trying to get as many of our staff involved as we can, depending on what else is going on.
Right.
But I was going to say, if that's the day you work, I mean, we could get Ron to let you off. But if you have some health,
I might. Yeah. I think I'm scheduled that week. So
okay. Well, it'll be fun. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Designs of Distinction. Dial that phone number, put it in your phone, and save it for a day when you look at the house and go, boy, it needs a facelift, and I want to be able to see outside a little bit better, but I don't want people to be able to see inside.
That's right.
And Trish can take care of that. We'll take a quick time out, and then the news will follow.
Cattlemen, spring is here and things are starting to green up. But alongside the good green like pasture grass and trees come the bad greens. Musk thistles, mullenweed, buckbrush, and other weeds. Let Aero Aviation help you get the bad green under control this spring. They use the latest in aircraft and GPS technology and crop protection products while keeping the good green in your pocket. Call Casey, Melissa, or Kim today and schedule spring spraying with Aero Aviation. 872-5113.
Barney Pharmacy in Broken Bow offers many product choices for your health care. In-store circular specials include pain relievers, cold and allergy relief products, and skincare products, all great to have on hand at a moment's notice. Also, check out their great selection of vitamins. The first aid section has everything you need in your drawer at home, too. Visit Barney Pharmacy, downtown Broken Bow. They look forward to seeing you.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. Just in, a challenge from President Biden to his predecessor to a TV debate.
I'll even do it twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
Mr. Biden's released a video on X challenging the former president to, quote, make my day, pal. Mr. Trump has off from his hush money trial on Wednesdays. Secretary of State Blinken's in Kyiv, where he's announced a $2 billion arms deal that would send more weapons to Ukraine to bolster its battle with Russia.
We're rushing ammunition, armored vehicles, missiles, air defenses. Rushing them to get to the front lines.
Two congressional aides say the Biden administration wants to send another $1 billion in military aid to Israel. CBS's Stacey Lynn.
The move comes days after the U.S. withheld shipments of certain munitions, and the president said the U.S. would further cut back if Israel broadened its offensive in southern Gaza.
Secretary of State Blinken says Israel still needs a clear, concrete plan for Gaza. CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth, and if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The Canadian wildfires are expected to impact the air quality in Nebraska throughout the remainder of May, state agencies said Tuesday. The Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services and the Nebraska Department of Environment and Energy said wildfire smoke can linger for extended periods of time depending on weather conditions. Nebraskans, especially those in sensitive groups, are encouraged to closely monitor the air quality and take steps to minimize exposure to smoke. Those in sensitive groups include people with heart or lung disease, older adults, children and teenagers, pregnant women, and outdoor workers. The DHHS and the NDEE will issue smoke advisories as the conditions warrant. Nebraskans can now use the airnow.gov website to monitor current air quality. The AirNow Fire and Smoke Map includes AQI conditions for particle pollution and smoke from fires.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
In the NBA playoff second round action, the Nuggets knock off the Timberwolves 112-97. The defending champs were led by league MVP Nikola Jokic, who had 40 points and 13 assists, as Denver is the first home team to win so far in the series. For Minnesota, Anthony Edwards was held to 18 points. Timberwolves lost 3 straight for the first time all season as Denver takes a 3-2 lead in the series. Knicks bounced back for a 121-91 win over the Pacers. New York lost in Game 4 by 32 points. They come back home, win Game 5 by 30. He's led by Jalen Brunson's 44 points, his 5th 40-point game this postseason. New York takes a 3-2 lead in the series. NHL playoff second-round action. Bruins avoid elimination with a 2-1 win over the Panthers in Florida. Florida still leads that series 3-2, but we will have a Game 6 back in Boston. And the Oilers beat the Canucks 3-2. Evan Bouchard, game-winning goal with 38 seconds left. That series is tied at 2-2.
Here's your weatherology forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Chance for storms today, otherwise cloudy skies expected. Highs level off around 71. Northwest winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Mainly clear skies. Tonight, chance of thunderstorms. Lows level off around 46. High temperatures reach up to 78. Tomorrow, mainly sunny. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
Tired of unexpected car troubles putting a misfire in your day? Introducing C&M Auto in Anselmo. For routine maintenance to major repairs of gas and diesel cars or light and heavy-duty trucks, go with C&M Auto. They boast the latest diagnostics to diagnose and fix your vehicle's issues with quick response and a very competitive labor rate. Plus emergency 24-hour service rates outside their 9 to 5 Monday through Friday hours. Call 308-749-2277 for C&M Auto, located south of Chandler's Honey off Highway 2 in Anselmo. C&M Auto.
Headaches, ear ringing, neck pain, dizziness, brain fog. Is your jaw pain to blame? Pearson Physical Therapy wants to be your partner in finding out. Tension and dysfunction in the jaw and surrounding muscles can lead to a number of symptoms that disrupt your daily life. It can be hard to know who to seek out for help. We invite you to come see us at Pearson Physical Therapy to learn how your jaw dysfunction can be managed so that you can get back to not having to deal with daily aggravation. Call us at 872-5800 or stop by on West Highway 2, Broken Bow.
Rise and shine.
All right. The Get Up and Go Breakfast Show on KCNI KBBN.
8:09 as we roll through this Wednesday today. It's getting darker out there. May get some more rain. We picked up 3,400s overnight, and we could take some more as long as it's going to be cloudy. We may as well get a little rain. Want to thank our sponsors who are providing the picture and streaming for you on Facebook and YouTube and X, formerly Twitter. Those businesses include Central Nebraska Warehouse and Storage, Culligan, Ferreter Auto, the Garden Center, Hunter's Towing, Ideal Realty, Quality Senior Village, Ross Electric, and Hertique, Runza, and V-Bar. Thank you very much to those businesses. Good morning to Rochelle, Sean, and Steve. Good morning to all of you who have dropped in a line on our chat box this morning on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Also, state track meet taking place in Omaha at Omaha Burke. If you've ever been there, you know it's a colorful, wonderful event if the weather cooperates. And I don't know, Jack, have you been to the state track tournament before?
I have not, but I did track one year in my sophomore year, and I ended up spraining my ankle halfway through the season.
Well, that took care of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you ever get a chance to just take in the state track meet, it's quite a pageant, really. Colors and kids walking around in between events. It's a pretty neat deal. It's very, very huge event now. It's Wednesday, Thursday, 3 days.
Yep.
As they've kind of changed things up. That was, I think, kind of done during COVID, and it worked out pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
Brent Apperson will be giving reports throughout the next 3 days. And here's the difference between KBBN and other radio stations. I don't know how many stations still go to the state track meet. When I covered it one time many years ago, the whole section of bleachers was full of reporters, and they each had their own little station, and they all were hooked to phone lines, and there were lots and lots of media there.
Wow.
Nowadays, a lot of the folks tend to sit in front of the computer in their studios or in their offices at stations and gather the information and bring it to you. Brent doesn't do that. He's still trackside. He still tries every once in a while to talk to some of the kids when he can. And sometimes if he happens to be on the air with his report when a race is being run or there's an event going on, you'll get a little play-by-play as well. And he's able to do that because of all the super great businesses that you'll be hearing from the next 3 days. It's amazing the support we get for it, Jack, but I think there might be just a handful of stations that actually still go down and do reporting the way we believe it should be done. So,
Heck yeah.
Yeah. A little Arthur Conley for you, a little sweet soul music on this Wednesday.
214-0395 or visit KurtSullivanAuctions.com. That's CURT SullivanAuctions.com.
8:16. We promised you a lot of guests today, and we're going to deliver. Ryan Anderson is here from the Garden Center. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I always worry about your health this time of year because now you're looking pretty brisk and frisky this morning. The other day when you came in, you'd been on a long delivery for your furniture that turned in to be longer than you thought, and I have to tell you, you looked a little tired.
I was a little tired 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
So,
but you're staying a little closer to home now?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Because everybody's coming to the Garden Center?
Yeah, still kind of got to be around there, so.
Yeah.
But, yeah, kind of burning the candle at both ends. So.
Well, the furniture's really taken off, and you've actually added some things to that. We'll talk about that in a little bit, maybe conclude with that, Ryan. But the greenhouses, you had stock full. You had a lot of trees that you're working on getting set up and ready to go. How's things going?
Oh, pretty good. So, of course, this weekend was fairly busy with Mother's Day, and it was nice to be able to restock and have full shelves every day. So, and continue to have, all the varieties of vegetables ready to go. We'd gotten in some of our vine crops, like the cucumbers and watermelon, muskmelon, that sort of thing last week. So that kind of filled that area up, and restocked a little bit yesterday on that kind of stuff. So we'll be ready to go there. So, but yeah, still pretty full, and lots of variety to choose from there. So.
The Mother's Day holiday, it seems like a lot of people love those hanging baskets with all the colors in it and so forth. Did they clean you out, or do you have some left?
Oh, we still have some left.
Okay,
so,
good.
Yeah, pretty good stock of those, and refilled some of that too. So
you resupply.
Yep. So, yeah, it's like I said earlier this year, we've kind of, I kind of tried to work on my inventory a little bit, and adding the other greenhouse allowed us to bring in, have backup inventory and whatnot. So that's really been, I guess, good for us. Is at the end of the days when the rails are emptying out in the main greenhouse, we can bring over stock and get that restocked. So, and people are more than welcome to walk around, and if you see a basket over in that house, you can get it down there too. So
get it there, yeah.
But yep.
Well, that was a great addition. I know it's an investment in time and money, but and you also have more work to do with that much more space to utilize, but it does make it great for the customer.
Yeah. So it's been a blessing for us, so to be able to have that. So
good. Well, those hanging pots that you restocked, they're great for Mother's Day, but man, do they make a porch look good.
Yep.
The colors they bring, and that they pretty well, if you take care of them, last for the time you need to have that color around. And
yeah, if they'll last through the season. Some people, if they have a planter or something and they don't like, maybe shopping for flowers, most of ours are combination pots, and you can plant those up in a container or whatever. And if you go a little bit bigger container, they're probably going to grow and do a little bit better, but they're also designed to grow in the pot that they're in. So, but we've had a lot of good luck planting those up in a container or a planter, or even outside somewhere, and they flourish. So,
and we finally are getting past the point where we have to worry too much about freezing. Maybe I shouldn't say that out loud, but I think we're kind of getting in the safety zone. So if you have those pots sitting around on the back porch or out front with potting soil in them, you can come and buy the different varieties and make your own inside of those pots. Maybe probably put some new potting soil in.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of people get ideas from Pinterest or whatever, and even I look at that to see what's kind of trending there and see what to bring in and try and stay on top of that. Sometimes we're ahead of it by a couple of years. It's kind of crazy. A plant that maybe we didn't move too well last year and is the most popular plant this year. It's kind of crazy how that works. So, but yeah, you're definitely able to, put together your own containers and of course, we have the potting soil there ready to go. We like to think it's a pretty good potting soil. There's no wood fillers and bark and a bunch of stuff in it. It's comes out of Canada. It's really good stuff. People come back and ask for it by name, so
they know it's
ultimate
good.
Potting mix. Yeah.
And you have starters. I know that you have some favorites that you suggest to people to put on the soil when you first plant.
Yep. So, we can kind of talk about like the root stimulator.
Mm-hmm.
Root stimulator is really good for anything you plant, whether it be vegetables, flowers, trees especially, even your perennials and shrubs and stuff. But just anything you're putting in the ground, the root stimulator, it's 3.5 tablespoons per gallon of water, and you mix up the solution and water in your plants like that. So, and then throughout the summer or the season, growing season, Jack's Classic is a good. We have petunia feed and tomato feed. They also do an all-purpose and blossom booster too. I wish they wouldn't name them petunia feed, because the petunia feed is for your flowers and the tomato feed is for your garden.
Okay.
So
that is a little narrow, isn't it? Yeah.
Kind of have to talk people through that a little bit, but we did some test runs on that last year. Jack's Classic, we spoke to some representatives from that company, and they told us to alternate the petunia feed and the blossom booster. 1 week use the petunia feed, the next week use the blossom booster, and we did that on some of our pots and with flowers, and really seen a difference. About midsummer, there was some stuff, some containers that we had that we cut back. It gets a little long and lanky, and you can trim about a third of that back. And I mean, it looks like you're, giving it a pretty good haircut. But about 2 weeks later, those come back fuller than ever. So
wow.
when they get looking a little rough, after they've had some of the July heat and first part of August, you can really bring that back with those products. And then the tomato feed has calcium in it, and calcium is going to be what prevents blossom end rot on your tomatoes and peppers and that sort of thing. So that's a good product to use there. So.
Okay. Well, that's what you get at the garden center. You get the actual plants and so forth, but you have the other products to enhance that. I think one of the things maybe that's fun about flowers and gardens and so forth is the conversation that people can have. Well, I had really good luck with this, doing it this way, just like you're suggesting, and people come up with different philosophies and ideas, and it just makes it kind of fun.
Yeah, it's been a fun, it's always a fun spring season. We always look forward to it, and I can't believe it's the middle of May already, but the conversations we have with people and when they come in and what success they've had, or maybe what didn't have success with. And
I wonder if there's anything discussed more than tomatoes. It seems. I mean, I always think about Chet McKimmey. I don't know if you remember Chet or not, but he was a wonderful guy. We lost him many years ago, but his philosophy was, and believe this or not, that he grew pretty darn good tomatoes, but he would put a birth control pill in the soil beside the tomato, and he swore that was what made him get so big and grow. And I couldn't argue it because I didn't know if it was possible that would work or not. But that's a one that's a little out there. But people have a lot of little different tricks, and a lot of them work for them, right?
Yeah. There's several things like that out there, I suppose. Yeah. I've never heard of that one. But.
Well, Chet was one of a kind, so he was a cool guy. But speaking of tomatoes, you mentioned last time you were here, man, you got a lot of varieties.
Yeah, there's, I counted 40, we put some tags up or, some little information, bench cards, I guess is what you call it.
Yeah.
And I counted over 41 varieties, I think, of tomatoes we had. And so, you always get the question, well, which is the best tomato? And it's like, well,
what are you going to do with it, right?
Yeah. But that being said, we'd ran out of, we'd over the weekend sold through the Amish paste, and we got a bunch of those yesterday. So those will be back in stock. And but yeah, as far as the best tomato, take your pick.
There you go.
I don't know.
You have 41 picks at the garden center.
Yeah.
I think the paste ones probably are popular because of spaghetti sauce and all the different things that come from it. So I wonder if a lot of times the people who do grow them for the paste typically are people who plant more tomatoes. Seems like maybe.
Yeah. So and that's the thing with like the Amish paste is they're a bigger, meatier tomato for making sauces and that sort of thing. Right along there with that is an heirloom called San Marzano, and that's another one. The Roma tomatoes are maybe a 3 to 4 ounce fruit, so they're smaller, and they're still meaty, and a lot of people use those for salsas and whatnot. Right. But the Amish paste and like the San Marzano is just a bigger, meatier Roma, and so if you're making a lot of sauces, that sort of thing, people tend to plant those because you get more, you produce more without having to do, peeling and all that stuff when it comes to that sort of thing.
So you're saying that it's kind of up to the people, and they ask you which one is the best. But I got to aggravate you and ask you a tomato question. Which one is the best for the BLT?
Well, and this is what I tell people. I like what's called a mortgage lifter. It's a big. I believe it's a beefsteak variety, but it's a big, meaty, not a whole lot of seeds, not a whole lot of juice. You can slice it and it'll cover a piece of toast. And
all right.
Pretty good flavor, I think. I'm not a big tomato connoisseur, but that's, if you want to know what we plant in our garden, I plant a mortgage lifter. We plant Amish paste because we're making sauces, that sort of thing, and maybe a cherry tomato. So but that's.
You ever plant the yellow ones?
The sun sugar. That's, like I say, I don't eat a whole lot of tomatoes, but if I'm going to eat a cherry tomato, that's probably the one I'll eat. Out of my garden.
I think we use the basil tomatoes on our BLTs and stuff.
Basil?
Yeah.
Well, there's all kinds, but there's 41 different ones.
Yeah.
The garden center. They're fully stocked and ready to go, and ready to go in the ground.
Yeah.
So, and then of course you mentioned cucumbers, and peppers are another big one that people really like to play with.
Yeah, we got hot peppers, sweet peppers. We got the Fooled You jalapenos with they're a jalapeno flavor without the heat. Pretty good for filling with cream cheese, wrapping with bacon, and
that doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah.
Just so you know, Jack, Ryan's also an excellent chef.
Heck yeah.
So when he's talking about going with these different things, he knows he enjoys the fruits of his labor there. Yeah. So a garden right now, honestly, no matter its size, is really going to save you money. So I know when you go in and you start putting all those things in the box, you reach in your billfold and you spend a little money. But man, oh man, if you go to the produce department in a grocery store, you're figuring if I can even save a fourth of what I have to buy for the year.
Yeah. So, green beans is another one. We plant a lot of green beans. We have the jade beans in bulk there, and we were planting those before we even bought the garden center. So, a really good straight bean that produces prolifically, and they can. If you don't get them picked, they don't tend to get that string on them like others do. So
yeah.
But really good bean there. So, and to ask somebody came in the other day and said, well, you can buy a can of beans at the store. I'm like, yeah, you can, but they don't taste as good as.
No, not at all. And little bits of bacon here and there. And yeah. So a lot of choices there. Before we continue, I want folks to know we're talking with Ryan Anderson, the Garden Center, now open 7 days a week for folks who work and can't get there during the week. You got the weekends.
Yep, 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, or 10 to 5:30. Saturdays 10 to 2 or 10 to 5. Sorry, and then Sundays 11 to 4. So, and we've been known to be there a little bit early and be there a little bit later. So,
you're there a lot.
Just suggestive. So.
Yeah. Let's go to as we finish up here. I want to talk a little bit about the furniture that you're making available. You have some things in stock, but you can also get it in a short period of time. Furniture that you can sit on the patio and have it last, unfortunately, probably longer than we're going to be around, right?
Yeah, it's 100% recycled plastic. It's heavy-duty stainless steel components. It comes with lifetime warranty on it, so it doesn't fade, doesn't crack, doesn't rot. It's super comfortable. We've started working with some other Amish builders as well and brought some of that in. We still go back to the original father-son builders that were, that we started out with.
Mm-hmm.
They have the most comfortable seat, we think, and got tables, chairs. Come check it out, sit in it.
It's quality, and the colors selection is great too. You have all sorts of different color options for it.
Yeah, we do. We are carrying quite a bit more inventory than we've had in the past. So if there's something you see there that you like, you can certainly take it out that day. So we got more coming in a couple weeks. So next week, in fact. So
is there anything that you had on your mind when you walked in the door that you want to talk about that we haven't talked about so far?
No, I think we covered quite a bit. We got, a thing we didn't touch on is trees, shrubs, perennials. We'll continue. We have that stuff in right now, fruit trees especially, apple and peach, cherry, but
roses.
Got some pretty roses in, so they've been going out pretty fast. We'll be bringing some more of that stuff in here later in the month. So
okay, it's easy to get to the garden center. Easy way is a block off Highway 2 turn at the dollar store, and you'll see the windmill there, and plenty of parking there. Although I have seen it here lately where there's quite a few cars packed in there, which is a good thing to see.
Yeah, we got some side streets you might have to utilize sometimes. But
okay. All right.
So
okay, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank
I know
you.
You're busy. Appreciate it.
You bet.
We'll take a time out with these words on The Breakfast Show.
Do you have a laundry list of projects to do around your home? Refresh your space by completing the list of home improvement projects with the help of a HELOC from Burning Bank. If an updated look is not enough and you're ready to buy a new home, we can help with that too. Navigating a home purchase can be confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let our friendly, experienced staff guide you to owning the home of your dreams. You can apply in person, online at burningbank.com, or give us a call at 308-872-2757 to get you started. Burning Bank, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 473773, member FDIC.
Moline Seed and Fence is your leader in agricultural fencing and animal management solutions. Let's get ready for spring with the new satellite water monitoring system from Gallagher. Check your tanks in seconds for a fraction of the cost of driving. Turn that time saved into a new fencing project. High tensile, barbed wire, metal, and pipe fencing all in stock and ready for your next project. Moline Seed and Fence, located southwest of Callaway. Give them a call today. 308-529-0781.
Homeowners, landlords, and business owners of Custer County and beyond. Is your lawn begging for a makeover? Sharon Lawn Care and Sprinkler Repair has the magic touch for your green oasis. A 4 or 5-step fertilizer program, sprinkler repair expertise, and top-notch aeration and mowing. Transforming your yard into a lush paradise is just a call away. Call Kyle at 308-870-0348. Serving Custer County and beyond.
Sharon Lawn Care and Sprinkler Repair, where the grass is always greener.
Attention do-it-yourself enthusiasts and weekend warriors. Spring is in the air, and your go-to destination for quality materials, tools, and friendly advice is right on Main Street in Ansley. Plan now so you can start right when the weather warms up. Ansley Lumber and Supply is your locally owned and operated connection for premium lumber, Benjamin Moore paint, composite decking from Armadillo and TimberTech, as well as deck railing. Don't forget that delivery is available so you can get the work started quicker. Ansley Lumber and Supply, downtown Ansley.
Nebraska State Bank believes in our strong rural communities. We believe in our local ag producers and their capacity for innovation and growth. At Nebraska State Bank, we work hard to support our customers' growth, and that means growing ourselves as well. We offer a variety of banking products to make banking easier, especially during busy times, such as making payments online, signing loan documents digitally, or mobile depositing a check. These are just a few ways we can help simplify your life. Visit nesb.bank or call any of our branches to learn more about how we can make banking easier for you. Nebraska State Bank, member FDIC.
The busiest season is back. Get things accomplished with a Polaris off-road vehicle. Shrink your to-do list, rain or shine, while staying comfortable in a climate-controlled cab. Our sales team is ready to move units, so pick out yours from our huge line of in-stock units. The shop crew is always busy in the summer, so make sure to call ahead to schedule your service appointments. Agland ATV, West Highway 2, Broken Bow.
Always wear a helmet, never drink and drive.
8:38, you're listening to The Breakfast Show on this Wednesday. Thanks for doing so. We appreciate it. A reminder, we'll have track reports coming up today from Omaha Burke at the state track meet. Ben Amperson will be starting after the breakfast show is over, setting things up for us and being aware that he'll go 1 or 2 times each hour as the action unfolds today. And there are some of the area athletes that are going to be starting right away, so we'll be wanting to listen very carefully. So Custer Federal State Bank in Broken Bow sometimes invites the folks from Scenic Byway to come in, and they pay for the time, so thank you to Custer Federal. Thank you, Mike Evans and Rick Moss, for dropping by this morning.
Thank you, Custer Federal. Very good.
Thank you.
Yep. As you know, this is Jack Simpson. I almost always want to call him Jack White.
You wouldn't be sitting here.
That's right. That's right. So we're getting our feet under the ground with Jack. He's originally from Taylor, and so he's a local guy. We're excited about having Jack in here to work with us. So,
yep.
Mike.
Yes.
How's the plans for the outhouse working out at the barn to go along with the Saudi? Are we getting any closer on that? I know that you've got some good help on that.
We were just talking about that.
That's
the plan,
a priority, you know.
I think it's pretty close. We haven't talked to the creator of the outhouse yet, but
last I knew, it was in good shape, and it should be there within 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's the goal.
And
I think it'll happen.
I think it will too,
Yeah.
knowing that person, those people. And that goes right along with the barn opening then too, because that's about that distance away, right?
Yeah, it would be a week from Saturday, which is the 25th of May, the Saturday of Memorial Weekend. So it's getting close.
Yeah.
And we got a lot to get ready.
Well, you always have it looking sharp when people start dropping in off Highway 2 to take a look, Rick. It always looks great.
You know, the dandelions, and I say this every year, are just taking over. It's amazing, but they phase out fairly quickly. So
yeah.
It'll be looking pretty good in a little bit.
Every time you guys come in to talk about the barn and that location, then it reminds me that Mike has this great idea about using that to take walks because you've got the trail that goes up to the windmill and the lookout. And I'm always going to do that, Mike, and I haven't done it yet. So maybe this week, with all this great weather we're having, we can go out there and take that walk.
Rick just mowed it. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, the trail is mowed up to the observation deck. Mike's mom, though, she walks around there almost every day, I'm sure, in the evening.
Yeah.
So she gets her use out of it. And we encourage people to come out when we're not there, when we're not open, out of season, to use the facility.
Got a pond. Is it filling up?
Yep, looks good.
Good.
Mike put some more crushed concrete around the perimeter of the pond, and it looks a lot better. It covered up some of the exposed liner we had there. So it really looks nice now.
That helps.
Thanks to Mike.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. And that kind of helps filter the water, too.
Yeah, and Dave Downey put in a solar system up there on our windmill, so it's really pumping a lot more water. So we're very thankful to Dave.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's fairly talented when you can pin him down. He's a busy guy. So.
He loves water.
He does.
He does.
In fact, yesterday I talked to him for a while. They had a diode out on the system, the solar system at the windmill. And he's going to do something, maybe I shouldn't say this, but in the way of a pond at his little
park.
His
campground?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great idea.
So that's going to be neat.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's
he's got to do it because I just mentioned it.
Yeah.
Dave, you're going to have to do it.
Pressure's on.
All right. So are you set up for volunteers, Rick? Do you have enough volunteers?
We're in really good shape. Yesterday we had 47 high school kids in. Lisa Phillips, Mrs. Phillips, the English teacher. It's not called that now. I can't remember the term.
Language?
I don't know.
Language arts.
Language arts. You were close, Mike.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Anyway, she had 3 different sophomore and junior classes come in during the day. And we really had a good time. Those kids were so respectful and well-behaved. At that age, they're not kids anymore, but it was really a good time. And Lisa, when we got all done, she said she wanted to volunteer. So
picked up another volunteer.
There we go. And your grandson, I didn't look in the book to see what his name was, said, my mom's a volunteer. So that was kind of neat.
Yeah. Well, that takes...
Mom, grandma.
Grandma, yeah.
Grandma Joan.
Well, it takes a village, as they say, right?
There you go,
Yeah. Well, and
so we're really fortunate. We're in good shape for volunteers. Got a lot of spots on the calendar filled through the 1st of September anyway.
And it's a little shorter this year because you're not a passport stop.
So we're 3 weeks shorter than last year for the season.
Is that, in a way, you wish you still were because it really increased the numbers, but on the other hand, it's a shorter run for the volunteers. So.
But it being the month of May, we've got people out there every day. I go out basically every day at some point, and yesterday we had a total of 65 people out there. So,
wow, that's something.
That's gratifying, and people are using it again when we're not really there, not really officially open, and that's what it's for.
That's what it's for, and it's always nice. You know you're doing something right when you have people come back, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Mike, the Saudi itself, I know that you were talking about maybe furnishing it. Where are we out on that?
So we had some really good really good news. A few days ago, our good friends Jim and Dee Dee Christian donated a really cool old stove, one of the old wrought iron, I don't know if it's not wrought iron, but cast iron.
Cast iron.
Good old, I think it's
heavy.
Home Comfort, I believe. But anyway, I'm not sure what the brand is, but it's a really cool old stove, period correct, I believe. It'll fit in really good as long as we can lift it, because I mean those people brought those things out on wagons. I don't know how they did it, but
That's amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
Because they're very heavy, and so that's going to really be the icing on the cake. They're inside the soddy, and then Donis and Chip Bullock are building a rope bed, which is pretty authentic for the time period. And we've got Mrs. Adams is putting some stuff in there and this and that. And I put a parakeet cage up on there yesterday to get that look going, because a lot of them had parakeets to keep them from just going crazy from listening to the wind. So if you see a lot of those old sod house pictures, a lot of them had bird cages hanging out front. A lot of butchers' pictures did. And so we got the parakeet cage out there, and the old pioneer women could listen to the birds sing,
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't have radio, Dave, but
I know that was a sad time.
It was tough times. But then I'd like to make a request. I only had 3 antlers that I had in my possession, and if you notice in a lot of those old soddy pictures, antlers, big piles of them, a lot of times on the roof.
Mm-hmm.
And so if somebody has some antlers out there, if you want to add to our collection, go out there and just toss it up on the roof.
Yeah.
And we'd like to get a nice stack of them up on top of the sod house.
I bet there's some out there.
Yeah.
So,
If you got one hanging in your garage or something, you don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Bring it out and throw it up there.
It's a great idea. That'll really look authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the more you put those final touches on it, the more people are going to walk away and say, I'm going to tell my aunt and uncle about this, and they'll come and see it.
We're still looking for some other things for the interior. Carol Johnson, we haven't been up to see her yet, see what she has in her inventory. Carol Fritzler is donating a nice tall cabinet. So there are still some things we need, chairs and maybe a table. We'll get her all done, though.
And typically we're talking about small pieces because they just didn't have a lot of room in those days.
That's correct.
And you kind of built the soddy, actually, as I remember right, in kind of the dimensions that a lot of those first soddies were.
Fairly common, yeah.
Yeah. Which when you walk into it, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, they might have 3-4 kids running around in there.
They did.
Yeah, it's amazing how they even had any kids in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of them had 8, 10, or 12, and you're like, how in the world
They
did that?
needed it for the workforce.
Yeah, they did.
That's exactly right.
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
and you might find a chicken or 2 in there.
or a snake.
Yeah, a snake, good old bull snake.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're trying to dress it out like we see the old pictures from Butcher, and basically, if anybody has any ideas or has something they want to put out there, we're more than happy to put it out there. I don't think we'll have a theft problem or anything like that. We'll try to keep things tied down as good as we can, but you always run that risk, I guess, but not from people around here,
Yeah.
But we're trying to dress it up as good as we can and make it authentic.
Oh, it's going to be great. It already is. And Rick, inside the barn, anything different there as far as your displays go this year?
Oh, the quilt display that the Custer's Last Stitch Quilt Guild does every year is fresh. They did that a couple of weeks ago. Really neat. They took up quite a bit of area upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
It's a display of signature quilts. Really interesting.
That's
a lot
nice
of people
fit,
you would
too.
know or would have known with their names on the quilts. So they do a really good job.
All right.
One other thing before we leave, our second Saturday, June 2nd, Alan Bartels will be out at the barn for a book signing for a couple hours, so we're looking forward to that.
Nice gentleman.
His book is 100 Things to Do in the Nebraska Sandhills Before You Die. So I probably don't have much time.
We're getting closer. He's a great guy.
Oh, really
He
good.
loves the Sandhills.
Talented author and photographer. He's a good guy and lives this area.
Okay. That's June 2nd.
June 2nd, Saturday.
Okay. Saturday, and just come, right?
Yeah, come on out.
All right. Okay.
And lastly, Linda Tion is at the brochure swap in Grand Island today, so she couldn't be here, but she said ask him to play some Kid Rock. So she's younger than I thought she was.
Well, she still has a spring in her step.
Yes,
I do
she
know
does.
that. Yeah, she's
a lot of energy there.
Yeah, yeah. Great rep for Highway 2 up and down.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially up in the Sandhills.
Yep.
So, anything we missed, guys, that you wanted to talk about?
Just thanks again to Custer Federal for allowing the time to talk about it.
And to all our volunteers. They're terrific.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate it. It's always good to see you. And
thank you, guys.
Yeah. We're excited about that. Got to go out and see some of the touches you're putting on that Saudi.
You bet. Take a trip to the top.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I might want to line up an ambulance.
It's only a third of a mile.
Yeah, it's kind of uphill, though. If I make it up, we'll make it down, right?
You'll make it down.
Right. We'll take a time out.
A message from Varney Pharmacy. We have recently become aware that some of our patients have been receiving letters from Express Scripts regarding the termination of our business relationship with them and how it might affect your prescription medication coverage. Let us assure you that our relationship with Express Scripts remains strong and will be continuing into the future without disruption, as we have recently completed their extensive recertification process. What this means for you is that you will see no disruptions or changes in your current coverages here at Varney Pharmacy. We understand that you may have questions and concerns, and we would be happy to visit with you about them. Please drop by or give us a call. As always, thank you for your business and support. We look forward to continue serving your healthcare needs now and into the future. Marge and the team at Varney Pharmacy.
If you are thinking about planting a new lawn or renovating an existing one, start with quality turf seed from Arrow Seed. Arrow Seed grass seed has high germination, is weed-free, and comes with the expert advice that you don't get at those big box stores. Arrow Seed has several different turf varieties and a knowledgeable staff to assist you in choosing the one that will work best for you. To learn more, call or stop in to Arrow Seed in Broken Bow or visit arrowseed.com for the dealer nearest you.
May is finally here, and no one is more excited than the Secret Garden. Open every day in May. Weekdays 11:30 to 4:30, Saturday 8:30 to 4:30, and Sunday 1 to 4. The Secret Garden is thrilled to be a Nebraska Passport stop this year. And when you shop with them, you'll see why. A variety of annual plants, succulents, home decor, antiques, Watkins, and more. Luke 1, verse 37 says, "For nothing will be impossible with God." The Secret Garden, 2 1/4 miles west of Myrna on Highway 92 and a half a mile north.
Hi, Central Nebraska. This is Liana with Nebraska Owners Insurance Agency. As a part of our constant search for great ways to serve our customers, I'm excited to announce that Lori Pandorf-Leeper has joined our team in Callaway as an experienced licensed agent. So whether you're needing new home, auto, business, farm, ranch, or life and health insurance, or maybe you're just checking in on your current coverage options, reach out to Liana, Chip, or Lori at Nebraska Owners Insurance Agency.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show with Dave and Brent.
8:54. Before we get to that Kid Rock, we do want to remind you that we will be having Dan Helberg in, and he is going to tell us about a World War II Avenger airplane that's coming to Broken Bow, and we'll tease you with that. That's going to be pretty cool. So, and you, of course, know Dan.
Yep.
So that'll be fun. We'll get him in here and find out more about that. Something you might want to take in. Also, we received a correction. Pearl dropped a line and said June 2nd is on Sunday, not Saturday, and that's for that Alan Bartels book signing and presentation. So June 2nd is a Sunday, not a Saturday. So we did want to note that. Thank you very much. By request for Linda Tion, a song called Care. Kid Rock.
saying he is, quote, ready to rumble. He tells Fox the president's proposal for face-offs before early voting begins are fully acceptable to him. Correspondent Ed O'Keefe is at the White House.
A debate in late June and another one in September, around the time many Americans start getting their ballots to cast votes early. This was a complaint to the Trump campaign as well, that the previously scheduled debates by that commission were being held too late in the process.
CBS News Special Report. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Easy Cater. 100,000 restaurants, one platform. Whether you need food for catered meetings or company events, Easy Cater has everything to make food for work, work. Seriously, it's all right here in one place. Coffee, snacks, breakfast, daily employee lunches, you name it. Whether you run a nonprofit or a company with offices nationwide, we've got you covered. Anywhere work happens, Easy Cater has everything you need to make food for work, work. Order 24/7 at easycater.com.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore his seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Nick Cope.
In the NBA playoffs, the Nuggets took a 3-2 series lead on the Timberwolves with a 112-97 win Tuesday night. League MVP Nikola Jokic led with 40 points and 13 assists. First time all season, the T-Wolves have lost 3 games in a row. Nuggets coach Michael Malone knows it won't be easy to make it 4 in a row.
We know that closeout game is always the hardest game in any series, and they have a great crowd. That place is going to be rocking on Thursday night. We just have to weather the storm, stay with it, and continue to play championship-level basketball.
The Knicks bounced back to win Game 5 at the Garden over the Pacers, 121-91, giving New York the 3-2 series lead. Jalen Brunson had his 5th 40-point game of the playoffs, finishing with 44. And Caitlin Clark made her WNBA debut at the Indiana Fever, scored 20 points but committed 10 turnovers. Fever lost to the Connecticut Sun.
Here's your weatherology forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Chance for storms. Today, otherwise cloudy skies expected. Highs level off around 71. Northwest winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Mainly clear skies. Tonight, chance of thunderstorms. Lows level off around 46. High temperatures reach up to 78. Tomorrow, mainly sunny. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
Getting ready to take on spring? Make your first move with the reliable performance and power of Steel battery tools. From hedge trimmers and mowers to string trimmers and more, save on select Steel battery tools. Right now, save $50 on the RMA 460V lawnmower battery set. Real Steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com. With AK30 battery and AL101 charger. Offer valid for a limited time only while supplies last. See participating dealer for details.
World Pork Expo returns to the Iowa State Fairgrounds in Des Moines June 5th and 6th. With thousands of attendees, hundreds of exhibitors, and 2 full days full of events, this is where the pork world comes together. Register now to see the latest industry innovations, connect with other professionals, and experience the world's largest pork-specific trade show. Visit worldpork.org and secure your spot at pork's premier event.
9:04, it's 56 degrees outside under a cloudy sky. Pretty dark out there right now. Winds out of the northwest 5 to 10. Well, we've been promoting and promising, and now we're going to deliver, and we're excited to do so because Dan Helberg is here. When he's not being a principal, he's, I don't know, what do you do for fun, Dan?
Part of my hobby is I help my father-in-law on the ranch over the summer.
All right.
So I'm about to get my boots on for the summer and get finished fencing and windmilling, and the cows come into May, so excited for that time.
Yeah, it's going to be nice and green out there, isn't it?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Now, you know this gentleman over here.
Yes, yep. I see one of my former kids sitting here. It's awesome.
He's just third day with us, and we're learning the ropes here, so hopefully you'll...
Any hazing?
No.
Okay.
Not yet, at least.
That comes later, Dave.
Later, okay.
We wait a few weeks for that. So we're really curious. We're excited about a World War II Avenger coming to this area, right?
Yes. My uncle, Jim Korber, who lives in Grand Junction, Colorado, is part of the Rocky Mountain Wing of the Commemorative Air Force. And for the past 3 years in his retirement, his hobby has been working with this group of gentlemen to restore this Avenger. And most recently, they had to replace the engine on it.
Oh, wow.
And so they've had to go through the trial and error because of the multiple connections to it, and the dual use of the engine is also used in B-17s. They put it on backwards.
Oh.
And so they had to take it off again and reinstall it. So there was been some trial and error with this old plane that they've been working on. And so most recently, in the last year, they've been working on getting a group of pilots that can take it around to air shows around the country. And that's what brings him through Broken Bow. So they're flying from Grand Junction to Peru, Illinois for an Avenger air show. And they are going to refuel here in Broken Bow on their way to Illinois. And he put the word out to me and wanted to extend an invitation to anyone who wanted to see the plane to come out to the airport. They'll land around 10, and they'd be happy to let people take pictures, take a look at it. And so, but it's something he's been really passionate about, and his new love.
Well, we need people like that to preserve aircraft from that era, because it's, I don't know about you, Dan, but I catch myself watching the History Channel quite a bit on World War II history, and I should probably read more about it. My wife reads about it. I watch it on TV, but it just, I think it still interests a lot of people because it was such an important event in our lives, in the world.
Yes, and even as a kid, those World War II, they're so unique and romantic, if you want to use that word. But, you know, for me, the old P-51 Mustang was a model I made when I was a teenager and had it sitting on my shelf. And so I do think those World War II era aircraft, you know, capture people's imagination still, and, you know, with the old propeller and, you know, just a different type of travel with that. It catches people's imagination.
It does. Now, I happened to see a picture of the Avenger. For the folks out there listening on the radio, I'm sure you can describe it better than I can, but it's a fairly large plane, or at least in the picture, because there's a dome with a firearm, a rotating firearm in it.
This was one of those aircrafts that had the pilot and then had the gunner in the back.
Right.
And so the cockpit is rather long, and you know, the wings will fold back because they were also meant to take off of aircraft carriers for storage. And you know, this was a torpedo bomber, so a little bit different than your dive bombers that you kind of see on the movies of Midway and things of that nature. But
yeah, man. So what color is it? Is it green?
It's a deep blue. It's
deep blue.
Traditional deep blue navy color that you'll see in those planes.
Yeah.
So how did he come to find the plane? Did it just end up on an old airport somewhere? Or?
Yeah. Since its use in World War II, it moved around the United States, and at one point it was used for firefighting. Cool. I believe in Texas, and then it has been in Grand Junction, Colorado since the late 80s.
Wow.
And been part of their museum, but needed a lot of restoration eventually. And so, and then he got connected just with his friends in the community, people he knew, and they invited him to come over, and they knew he was handy and loved tinkering and creating, and so it's been a good fit for him.
Cool.
I wonder how they find parts for that.
Yeah, that's an interesting, you know, it's how do you find parts for those vintage cars? You know, there's someone who's hoarding them or still have them available. So probably takes a lot of legwork and calling around to find the pieces that you need, but I think they can still make it nice and flyable.
Oh, yeah.
Now, your uncle is a talented guy. There's no doubt about it if he's, you know, been heading up this project or involved in it. But you mentioned the actual engine installation needed to be redone. I wonder if when they first go up, after they kind of get things put together for those test flights, if there's a little bit of nerves there.
I believe there would be. That's one of those test pilot, you have to be brave and say, I really trust the guys who put it together because I'm going to take it up and fly around. So
And I imagine that the engine itself probably had to be overhauled and checked out and restored.
Yeah, it's a restored engine, so it's not brand new off the factory. So it's one that they have refurbished and made everything new that they can. And so to put it into these airplanes that need new engines.
Yeah. 10 o'clock or so?
10 o'clock is what he told me. So I might text him and see if he'll buzz the football field on his way out to the airport. But I'm going to try to steal away from school for about 30 minutes and say hi and kind of take a look at the plane, because I know it's something he's really proud of.
Yeah, it's almost too bad in a way, because school is about wound down.
Yes, last day's tomorrow.
Last day's tomorrow. So if it was like 2 weeks earlier or so where you weren't in that wind down, it would have been great to take the kids.
Oh, yeah. I definitely would have tried to arrange some buses to get some kids out there to have that opportunity to see it.
Well, you have some strings you can pull. He could come back, maybe.
He might.
Speaking of school, it is winding down, and they broke ground. Was it yesterday or the day before?
Well, broke ground on Monday.
Monday, okay.
Yep.
And now the work begins, right?
Yeah, the crews are out there doing some underground work, because there's some underground wires and conduit that needs to be moved because we can't build over it. So they're starting that. We're moving out of the middle school, and so kind of finding a place for the desks and all the teacher material and books. But tomorrow we dismiss at 12:30. Sack lunches are available if kids want to eat lunch before they head on home for the summer. But yeah, it's a crazy time up in the building as kids are moving around, and we just finished packing up the library, so we put all those books in boxes and got them in those Connexes that are sitting on the playground, and so getting ready to move out because no power on the 21st, which is a Tuesday.
Oh, wow. Well, they have a window of opportunity here to kind of have to get things started and then rearranged so that you can have classes this fall.
Yes.
I know you've got plans on how you're going to make all that work with classrooms and so forth, but it'll be a challenge, but it'll be a rewarding experience to see, I would think, for the students to see it all come together.
Yeah, these kids that are going to be able to be here over the next 2.5 years and see the change in our school and then be able to take advantage of it for their junior, senior years. It's going to be a memorable experience.
Yeah. And it also is nice to have a moving crew like that, the numbers of kids that can pick up one article and move it.
Well, they say many hands make light work. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of strange, Dan, because I've been here forever, and I think it was our freshman or sophomore year, that they tore off the original old junior high, and so we kind of got that experience. Pick up your desk. We're going over to the new high school. And you remember it like yesterday, so this will be something for the kids to remember they're a part of.
It will be, and they're going to start tearing down the what we call the shop, so kind of our maintenance shop and our ag shop. That'll be the first to go, and so they'll rip into that and take all the debris away. So if you want a brick, come rummage a brick out of the pile.
Yeah, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea.
Yep.
All right. Well, it'll be fun to watch. And thanks so much for giving us a heads up on this. We're going to send a representative out so we can get some pictures and hopefully a little audio.
Well, thank you so much
on that. But and your uncle's name again?
Jim Korber, Korber.
Okay. All right. And he's going to fly in around 10.
Yes.
World War II Avenger. That's going to be something to see.
It will be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. We'll take a quick time out with these words.
Who sells your soybeans overseas, increasing sales to Egypt, India, and many other emerging markets? Who has made you the #1 protein source in chicken feed? Who has made the next big breakthrough to boost your soybean yield? The answer to all of these questions is you. That's right, you do, through Your Soy Checkoff. By pooling your resources through Your Soy Checkoff, you are promoting your soybeans to new markets. You are discovering new practices and seed varieties to overcome your biggest challenges in the field. You have even turned $2 million of infrastructure research into $460 million per year in extra income for all soybean farmers. There is power in numbers, and you and your fellow soybean farmers are proving it by bringing tangible returns back to you and your operations through Your Soy Checkoff. You can see all the ways Your Soy Checkoff is moving soy forward for you at unitedsoybean.org. That's unitedsoybean.org. It's all about you doing things together as Your Soy Checkoff.
All right. It is 19 minutes past the hour. We have a few things we want to talk about here this morning on The Breakfast Show. But I'm going to let Jack take off. He's going to go do some paperwork so he can get paid. And I imagine that's kind of important to you,
Oh,
Jack.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You want to get paid?
Yep.
All right. So thanks for your help this morning.
No problem.
And we'll keep working together in the early morning hours. And we're halfway through the week, right?
Yeah.
So we'll tear into the second half.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yep, thanks.
It is 20 minutes past the hour, and we want to talk about some things here this morning. Rustic and Red. Yep. it is coming up the third Thursday of the month, and they invite you to join them this Thursday for the Spring Sip and Shop from 10 a.m. until 7 p.m. The sipping starts at 4 o'clock, and they have a special guest coming in. Stacy Cahill will be there presenting her book called Traffic Stop, and that is going to be with Stacy from 4 until 7 p.m. Also, 25% off ladies' apparel, 30% off florals and greens, 30% off baskets. Some exclusions may apply. Sales and a chance to register for their door prize will run all day. Everyone, come in, get a valuable coupon to use on your next visit in Cozad at Rustic and Red. Join them this Thursday from 10 a.m. until 7 p.m. for the Spring Sip and Shop. Sipping starts at 4 p.m., but the sales go all day. And from 4 until 7, they'll have Stacy Cahill on hand to present her book, Traffic Stop, Human Division. And she'll be signing those books, and you'll be able to meet her if you haven't met her before. Here in Broken Bow tomorrow on Thursday, it's the first, a gathering in the park, Market on the Square, the first one coming up tomorrow. Now, they'll just be getting started, so they'll have some vendors there, and they'll add them as they go through the summer months. But there'll be some folks there to show their wares and make some deals with you. This is going to take place from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. tomorrow in the downtown city park with the bandstand there. And they'll run these all the way through September with farmers, crafters, and bakers. Market on the Square starts tomorrow here in Broken Bow through the Broken Bow Chamber. Now, Summertime Savings is a local sales event that runs May 16th through the 18th, tomorrow through the 18th. School's out for summer. Kick off your summer with super savings at our local retailers. And you can enter to win some chamber bucks at every location. Participating stores include Otero Dale, Geared for Sports, Mission Avenue Thrift, The Quilting Shack, Lily Kate Boutique, Ollie's Coffee and Boutique, Reflection Salon and Spa, Chapin Square One Boutique, the Broken Bow Floral and Plant Studio all have summertime savings available to you starting tomorrow through the 18th. School's out for the summer. Summer savings begins at those merchants who are Chamber of Commerce members. Also, a job available. Custer County Farm Service Agency is accepting applications for a program technician. Details for the job for technicians who carry out office activities to provide technical assistance and support so farmers and ranchers can understand and access the FSA program benefits. Basic requirements include general office clerical work, record keeping, computer ability, organizational skills, and good public relations skills. The position offers health insurance, 401k, and paid holidays, paid vacation, and paid sick leave, among other benefits. How do you apply? Go to usajobs.gov and include FSA in the keywords field and Broken Bow, Nebraska in the location field to find the position announcement. Complete the online application. The deadline to apply is 10:59 p.m. Central Time on May 28th, 2024. There's also a QR code you can use. Questions for additional information about this position are available at this phone number, 308-872-6877. 308-872-6877. And you can ask for the executive director. Stevie will be happy to answer the questions. 308-872-6877. Quality Senior Villages in Broken Bow believes that an active life is a nurturing experience at their facility. Residents can thrive and live an active lifestyle. Activities can bring about a feeling and sense of self-worth and well-being. They offer stimulation and physical activities, including movies, music, craft, games, exercise, gardening, cooking, and outings in the outdoor area that was built recently. It's a specialized Alzheimer's and dementia care assisted living facility, Quality Senior Villages in Broken Bow. If you have questions about their services, call them at 872-6387. Brubaker's Coffee House in Arnold is a full barista bar and gift shop, something for everyone. They're open from 8 until 5 Tuesday through Friday and Saturdays from 9 until 3. They're closed on Mondays and Sundays. They have handbags, spring items and florals, yard decor, pickleball sets, fresh baked goods, and every week they have a customer of the week. So stop in and give yourself a chance at a free beverage. Remember, cards are in stock for every occasion as well, and Father's Day is coming up. So they have lots of things for you to shop for, lots of different specialty drinks and coffees for you to enjoy at Brubaker's Coffee House in Arnold, a historic destination with that full barista bar and gift shop, something for everyone. Here's Paul Revere and the Raiders. Paul Revere and the Raiders, just like me. Rick Moss dropped us a note concerning a book signing out at the Red Barn. And when we were talking with Rick, we were talking about the event taking place on June 2nd on a Saturday. We were off on that. And Pearl corrected us. June 2nd is on a Sunday, not a Saturday. So then Rick texts back and says, replying to Pearl, sorry for the confusion, Pearl. It's actually Saturday, June 1st at 10 a.m. Thank you very much. And here's Christy. Have a chair, Christy. She is back from an adventure of sorts. I don't know whether you want me to describe your adventure or not, so I'll leave it up to you.
Well, it was a fun Mother's Day weekend getaway, so.
Good.
We went to this place called Excelsior Springs, Missouri. The Elms Spa and Resort, me and the girls, and it was a neat experience. It was a historic hotel you stay in. Supposedly it's haunted, and they tell you the stories that you really kind of think that they're probably, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot to it.
Yeah.
This hotel has been on one of those haunted TV shows as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there's definitely Al Capone stayed there. It was where Harry Truman stayed the night he defeated, won the presidential election. So there's a lot of historic stories in it. And then it has this spa place that's with the, because it's a Excelsior Springs. It's the natural healing springs they used to believe, from way back when. So just a fun experience. But
so did you get all wrinkly?
Yeah, we did. And hot.
Hot and
I'd
wrinkly?
never been in like a steam sauna. And
yeah.
There was the dry steam and then the sauna and then the hot tub and then a steam shower, all these stations you can do before your massage. And
oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Sounds nice.
It was nice, yeah.
There's a lot of history down that way.
Yes, and it was a neat little town. We went to this place to eat called Wabash Barbecue. It's going to be featured on one of those food shows sometime soon, too, we read. So just fun little getaway, but I'm kind of glad to be home. I'm one of those that just is glad it's over. It was a great experience, but glad to be back.
Well, glad to have you back.
Yeah.
What's for Wednesday?
Yes, I'm here with my weekly What's for Wednesday at Chapin's. So at Chapin's Furniture this Wednesday, though, they are so excited about the weekend. They're doing the Summertime Savings Weekend, so they're preparing for that. So this weekend, they'll have Thursday through Saturday. Their occasional chairs will be on sale. They'll also have in the boutique, when you buy one item at regular price, you get one item half off. And then they will also have a rack of select sundresses, $19.99. So lots going on over the weekend. So they're preparing today to give you these special savings Thursday through Saturday at Chapin's Furniture.
All right. That's what's for Wednesday.
Yes.
Now I need a little help.
Oh, I don't know if I can help you.
The Fox Theater schedule. Can you help me with that?
I can try.
Okay.
Does
Now,
it need to be updated, do you mean? Do I need to go get the new sheet?
It's here.
Okay.
It's here. This front page is through Thursday, tomorrow.
Yes.
And then they switch over to a new schedule on Friday the 17th.
Yes.
Now, while you're looking that over, you can pre-read it a little bit. I'll let people know that the Rotary is putting on another golf tournament this year, and it's coming up on June 14th. Now, that's a ways off, but registration will continue because it usually fills up pretty fast, and it's a 9-hole tournament over at the Broken Bow Golf Course. And the benefit, if money is raised, will go to the Rotary and the Teammates Mentoring Program. And you can register by going to brokenbowrotary@gmail.com or call 870-2909. It's a shotgun start. And they'll play 9 holes. It'll only take the afternoon. They'll have mulligans for sale, flag prizes, and a free will donation on site for food that they're going to be barbecuing up, hot dogs and hamburgers on the grill starting at 11 a.m. So even if you don't want to golf, you can come out and have lunch and make a free will donation to the cause. The Rotary Service is putting the golf tournament on, and they invite you to take part. It's a 2-person scramble, $100 per team.
Okay. So going on at the Fox Theater, now these shows will be playing through Thursday of this week. We have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, The Fall Guy, and Unsung Hero. Those 3 are here for sure and still going until Thursday. But then come Friday, the new schedule will include IF, which stands for Imaginary Friends, rated PG, and that is about after discovering she can see everyone's imaginary friends, a girl embarks on a magical adventure to reconnect forgotten ifs with her kids. Also still showing then, starting Friday through next week, will be Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes and The Fall Guy. So those 2 will continue with Imaginary Friends being new starting Friday.
I want to see Planet of the Apes, and I haven't got there yet, so.
I just don't know why that one would. I don't get that one, I guess.
I don't know. I just kind of like the animation in them.
Yeah, I'm sure it's good, yeah.
And if I was an ape, I would really enjoy the film.
Okay.
Taking over mankind.
See, yeah. See, I don't know anything about it, but I just think it's a strange kind of story. But
well, it's nothing like the springs and the hot.
I know.
Thanks, Chrissy.
Yep.
That actually concludes the show today because I see that Brent Apperson is locked and loaded to begin reports today from the state track meet at Omaha. So we'll close the show and turn things over to Brent. Off and on, he'll have reports at least once an hour, if not more, throughout the next 3 days. That's all coming up. Have a great day.